stop making people miraculously recover from being impaled by lightsabers in every single show you make.
A POV POC. You just got a POC POV.
I hear you there, but it's still throw, duck, repeat. Throw, duck, repeat. Throw, duck, repeat.
All of yours have like respiratory breathing machines. Mine breathes on his own.
I'm really out of place, by the way, so well done.
Fact number 1. Dolan has said he's very out of place 4 times.
Hello and welcome to Plot Armor, the show where we fight hard but fight fair to answer stupid questions about the movies you love, hate, or have never even heard about. Be better. I'm your host, Vincent Potgieter. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. Today, the Force is truly with us, and we will fight for both the light and the dark side in this special Star Wars-themed episode. We will be finding out what the worst Star Wars project is, which planet would be the best to live on in the galaxy, and what fictional weapon lightsabers should be replaced with, and so much more. I'm really excited for that one. But first, let's meet these young Padawans. He's the cosmic crusader with a fight style so lit, you'd swear this force-wielding wildcard was born for this shit. Give it up for Dolan Kemp. Dolan, welcome back. He is probably the biggest Star Wars expert we've ever had on the episode, but I'll let you talk first.
Wow, thanks for that introduction, and you're right, Star Wars is my
Star Wars all the way.
Everything's wrong about it. Everything's wrong about it. No, thank you for having me again, and I hope I don't disappoint you.
No,
but I'm
you
definitely going to disappoint the two of you.
No,
we'll see.
You had such a fantastic episode last time that we couldn't help but bring you back, and I think you are underselling yourself. But we'll show that. We'll show, not tell that. Next, he's the legend who shook the galaxy with one blazing line, calling Darth Vader an aura farmer, but still the greatest of all time. Give it up for Tebedien Kalak. Tebedien, it is so good to have you back. So you blew up talking about how Darth Vader really is just an aura farmer.
Yes, I am. And I have read every single one of those messages.
Wow.
Every
positive.
Single one.
But honestly, no one was calling you, like, okay, there was a lot of nerds being like, well, actually, when the atmosphere pressure changes.
There was someone going on about the ether in the Star Wars universe. Someone was saying it was a tactical explosion. Someone was saying the wind was happening because he was inside the hangar. I was like, if there was in the hangar, the wind would be blowing out,
not inward.
In.
Yeah.
I've seen them all.
Okay, but we're gonna prove them even more wrong, because if they're Star Wars heads, they're probably watching right now. So screw you. But we will continue to meet our last little Padawan. She's the sharpshooting superfan with lore so legit she could outfact a holocron and make a Sith Lord submit. Give it up for Valerie van Wyk. Welcome back, Valerie.
Thank you for having me back. Jeez.
No, we couldn't not have you back because you were such a fact spitter on the anime episode.
Pressure.
So, yeah, and 100% pressure's on you. We're forming a diamond, because if you're able to keep up the same level of energy and facts with this one, then you might just be unbeatable. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it, but I think you would have won the previous episode if I was hosting.
Damn right. Now, like, where's Caleb? I need to talk to this man.
No, but do remember, Caleb has a formal education, so his opinion is actually more educated. So don't take what I'm saying for granted. But anyway, before we continue, we will read the rules. The rules are simple. 3 contestants face off over 5 debate topics. Each round runs 10 minutes, and the host awards a point to the most passionate debater, the one with the sharpest argument and fiercest rebuttal. After 5 rounds, the top 2 scorers enter the speed round showdown. 5 rapid-fire questions with just 20 seconds to argue and 15 seconds to rebut. The overall winner gets crowned main character of the episode, while the other gladiators fade into obscurity as the extras. So we just came back from Comic-Con Cape Town 2026 presented by Capitec, and it was insanely epic. One of my favorite parts was just visiting the Fandom Force headquarters, because it just had all the goodness and was probably one of my favorite activations that Capitec has ever done. What did you like about it?
Oh, I definitely loved the strength test. That was so much fun for me to do.
You did well there, but I don't want to brag. I did get second place in that. For a little bit in the beginning, I was the second person to do it on Thursday at 9 a.m. But I had it a bit. Anything else you like?
I love the fandom wave.
Yeah, that's also okay. I hate to be cutting you off like this. I have something to say about that too. I had second last place in that for most of the weekend. Thank you very much. Last place did go to me as well when I tried it a second time on Sunday. So that's pretty impressive.
Oh, and obviously one of my favorite things was also collecting merch, and they also gave out a bunch of rewards, so that was cool to receive.
I will say, like, Suella made sure that I collected every day because she wanted all the merch, and now we've got these cool caps, and we're the coolest kids on the block. I have to highlight, because this is one of my favorite parts, is the superfan stage and just lounge area. It was incredibly cool because we had like special view of the main stage and was never uncomfortable or rushing for seats. We were always snacked up with the vouchers from the superfan pass, which was really nice.
So thank you so much, Capitec, for having us. We had so much fun.
It was incredibly fun, and it was really cool to be part of your team and to represent it for you with the captain. So we literally cannot wait for Comic-Con Africa 2026. We'll definitely be swinging some superfan passes around our necks because it will be 1,000,000 times better. I know math. That's good math. Is that good math?
That is amazing math.
So we can't wait to see you there for that one. We will now continue into having some drinks. Dolan told me it's the only reason he's really here. So
I know nothing about Star Wars. I came here for the
But
drinks.
you know a lot about a mocktail, so everyone can take a sip of what I believe is called Through the Grape Lime. It is a grape lime flavored mocktail sponsored by Tebedien, as you know, as you love. So thank you very much for that. Had a fantastic showing at Minicon not too long ago where we sold out before the event was done. So woohoo, go Suella.
Very good.
This is actually really good.
That is very good.
It's so
Can
good.
I go now?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
see, it's
you can go, you can
it's
go.
purple because it's a mix of blue and red, which are the colors of the light and dark side, right? You guys will tell me.
It's
So
the color
Mace
of
Windu.
balance, so yeah.
exactly, it's called the Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
That's what I should have called this.
Great Jedis approve.
We've said enough about drinks because we are here to talk about Force, and we will get straight into question 1. Damn, we got there quick. Star Wars was once one of the most beloved franchises of all time, with each movie better than the one before. Amazing games, even better books and comics, but that time has long passed, sadly. Currently, every release has kind of a 50-50 chance at being good. So tell us, of all your many options, what is the worst Star Wars project of all time? And we will start with the expert Dolan.
Goodness. I was going to read my notes. No, so I actually chose Rise of Skywalker because I was thinking about it long and hard. I actually rewatched the movie. I had to watch it in fast forward because it broke my heart. So what I felt was, it's okay to watch a bad movie, but it's really bad when you watch a movie that breaks everything that came before it. So that's the reason why I chose Rise of Skywalker. I'm not going to give too much because I know that they're going to come at me, but I just felt like, you can have a bad movie, but you can't have a movie that physically breaks everything that we grew up with. So yeah, I chose Rise of Skywalker.
Fantastic opening. I love it. Okay, Valerie.
Okay, so I wanted to say everything Disney has created as a whole, but I thought that might be a bit too much. So I focused in on what is the cherry on the cake for me, and it's the Acolyte. It completely destroys Star Wars. It's not just the worst Star Wars series or project. It's not just the worst Star Wars Disney. It's bad television. It's just bad television overall. So yeah, my choice is the Acolyte, and I'll explain why later.
GPS signal lost. You are directionless, Valerie.
Sabella's not with us right
The
now.
Force was with
I
you.
felt something wavering in the Force. Like,
No, it's good. You're setting yourself up for success. I think lead us then into your answer, Tebedien.
Okay, mine might come out of left, but it's gonna come from the heart. I decided to trust my heart for this one because I have a long list. But
Yeah.
for me, the straw that broke the camel's back must have been Ahsoka. One terrible fight choreographies. Those droids were combat specialists that Ahsoka fought against, and they made the fight look clunky and boring. On top of that, the poor girl pulling out the Force out of nowhere. Suddenly, at the last third act, there's no build-up, there's no setup, no development, no nothing. I'm not going to go into detail about Thrawn. You're going to hear about what I have to say about him later. But what really, really broke my back Yeah, and I'm going to look at the screen with all the love. Mr. Filoni, Dave, look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah. I don't care how bitter you were at the fact that your favorite Jedi, Qui-Gon, got stabbed and died. Stop making people miraculously recover from being impaled by lightsabers in every single show you make. When she got stabbed, I thought, okay, she's dead. Next minute, she's in the Bastard tank being recovered. I know you loved Qui-Gon. I know it must have been catharsis for you, but please, you're making lightsabers useless with every single miraculous recovery, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, down through the crust, straight into the mantle, hitting the core of the earth, and there went the camel. I'm sorry. So
now, I love it. Let's see. Shall it be the cherry on the cake, the straw on the camel's back? What would be the worst? Fight it out.
Oh, damn.
First of all, you're very passionate. And I
that's-
love
you
that.
have
So
to
you're
be.
making me nervous. I want to take my drink and leave, but let me just try and hang around here. Okay. Just maybe if I can start. And I think
Go for it, yeah.
you mentioned a little bit earlier, stabbing people, bring them back to life. The thing is, those were happening in TV shows from Disney. They're forgettable. What he's done is he did the same in Rise of Skywalker. That broke everything. TV shows are forgettable. The movies are not. So that is why I say Rise of Skywalker is basically the worst. You cannot, you basically did everything from before. You undid it all. There's nothing. Yours is forgettable. I mean, it's a TV show. It's Disney, like you said it, so it's forgettable. But the saga, they broke the saga. The last episode just broke everything.
And to be honest, everything in Disney is forgettable.
Okay, fair.
Like you can ask me to give you the plot of any of the Disney stuff, and I can give you the rough thing, but I can't tell you details. Like if I haven't watched it 2 days ago, I would not know shit.
and to not to discredit you, but to highlight something very important. By the time most moviegoers had already checked out from the last Jedi. By the time they got to Rise of Skywalker, it was only the most abstract audience that really didn't care. All the hard fans had already checked out. People kept on going to the TV shows because, hey, oh look, they
tried to give people hope,
They wanted to check out Kenobi. They wanted to check out all these other characters, and once again, let down after let down. But then Ahsoka, and let's not forget that that's not how an adult of her species looks like. They were supposed to be long horns, but we'll get there. Ahsoka was just a letdown in everything, plot-wise, lore-wise, action sequence-wise, character development-wise. Everything just went flying out of the window, and that's where people checked out. Checked out after that.
I think people actually checked out finally, ultimately with the Acolyte. For yours, both of yours still have nostalgia elements, still have fan service elements. There are elements in both of your picks that people actually really like and fight for. Hayden Christensen coming back, Luke Skywalker coming back in Mandalorian and in Ahsoka, and then Rise of Skywalker giving the Kylo Ren and Han Solo payoff and everything like that. There's actual elements people still gravitate towards. I would actually argue The Last Jedi is worse than The Rise of Skywalker because that completely destroyed Star Wars. And then The Last Jedi, they sort of tried to scramble something together. There was multiple rewrites. There were then at that point,
somehow
even
Palpatine
Disney
came back.
Yeah, somehow Palpatine returned. What the fuck?
Guys, you're winning my point. I think you're winning my point, and I think that's it. It's the thing about this going, those are rebounds. What you're talking about is a rebound. Your first love broke your heart. These are rebounds. You are looking to fill that gap. It's not filling it. Star Wars saga is broken. These are fillers, and these fillers mean nothing because you've broken the saga.
No, but let's see, okay, so they kind of, with the series, they did try to build it back up and to redeem where they did go wrong. They tried to bring in the Thrawn trilogy kind of a little bit, which they should have done in the freaking first place. But I'll get to that. So with the Acolyte, I feel like there was so much potential, so much build up for it to be this new thing, this new direction. Jedis, you could see the Jedis at their peak. There was a Wookiee Jedi, which they killed off screen because apparently they didn't have budget, and their budget was $180 million. And $23 million per episode. That meant over $500,000 per minute.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find budget to make metal detectors look like different things from what we know they look like. And they couldn't find budget to shoot multiple scenes from different locations. No, they just repurposed the scene from a different perspective the whole time. And they couldn't find budget to do the one thing people really wanted to see, which was the Wookiee Jedi fight.
Which brings it to, you mentioned nostalgia. Jedi fighting in and of itself is the nostalgia.
Yes, which they did behind trees, by the way, and they claimed that was the best Jedi fight since like the OG movies. They did it behind trees.
And also, wasn't Yoda in that series?
Like at the end, he was like a cameo, the teaser. You just saw his ears, and that's like the worst possible
But that
way.
does count as nostalgia bait, like all the others, doesn't it?
No, it's not really. It's nostalgia bait in a sense that they weren't like utilized the same way Hayden Christensen was. He was actually given lines. He was actually given a prominent role. And same with Han Solo, same with Kylo Ren, same with like everybody in that movie.
Do you listen to your final argument?
Okay, so the Acolyte, in my opinion, destroys what the Force is as well, which is the core thing in Star Wars. It makes it a thread. It makes it like something you can manipulate in a linear way. It makes it seem like the thread determines your destiny, which the Force does not determine your destiny. It gives you the tools to choose your path to determine your own destiny. Therefore, you can choose either the dark side or your path matters, your choices matter. So the Force was completely destroyed. They destroyed Anakin Skywalker's uniqueness as well by making two virgins characters, where he was supposed to be the only virgins character. This is before him, right? And apparently, this is the killer, the Conehead Jedi. I don't know his name, but everybody calls him the Conehead Jedi. He wasn't supposed to be alive, all right? He wasn't supposed to be alive. And in The Empire Strikes Back, he specifically says, the Sith has been extinct for a millennia. And that doesn't mean they didn't exist, but that means that the Jedi didn't know about them. And all of a sudden, the Sith is an acolyte. So that means the Jedi freaking knowed about them. Yoda knowed about them. So how could they be extinct in the original lore then?
If we're going to go about how Disney's breaking the law, if we're going to go about how Disney is breaking the law, we'll be sitting here until next week, Sunday.
The acolytes should speak of that.
Speaking of which, let's speak about law breaking activities. We have got Ahsoka, who you were mentioning about how Hayden suddenly appeared as a Force ghost that turned into the dark side, that turned back into the light side. How conveniently somebody develops the Force out of nowhere. They said they've been playing around with the Force. They've been abusing the concept of the Force since Ahsoka. How characters that are supposed to have certain level of intelligence go flying right out of the window, making impulse mistakes. We have a Mandalorian who doesn't fight like a Mandalorian suddenly. Because if she fights too closely like one of their favorite IPs, the Mandalorian, people will think that this is just a continuation, so they have to make sure that she breaks and she looks much weaker than she actually is. I've watched Rebels. That girl can actually fight. She should have beaten that Sith wannabe at the first time around, but no. Let's change the law for that sake. Let's also change the law of a certain character who sacrificed. Let's make light of a self-sacrificial act of taking one of the biggest baddies of that particular storyline and throwing him into another galaxy and making it sound like he's just been gallivanting in the Bundus, doing nothing for the last 20 years, without caring about his loved ones or anything that's happening in the real world. What was he doing this entire time? That's a law-breaking story. The Force is one aspect, but the fact that they continuously write circles for the sake of moving the plot along instead of sticking close to the original content is one of the biggest things that break the back when it comes to Ahsoka. Never mind the poor fighting qualities and the fact that Ahsoka would never have made half of the decisions she made. We know that character. We grew up with her, and then we see her making a 180 in certain moments, like not caring about an apprentice. She would be the one caring about the apprentice the most. She knows what happens when a master abandons her apprentice. So she would have been the one caring the most about these people and making certain actions that don't make sense. Oh, for heaven's sake, staying behind. Oh, spoiler alert. Staying behind the Bundus.
Ah, great. Dolan, close out for us.
So I'm going to try and keep it a little bit short. So first of all, what you guys were talking about, you needed a Disney account. What I'm talking about is you went to the movies to watch
I'm
it.
Captain Jack Sparrow, baby.
So what I...
We at Plot Armor do not condone piracy, but we will talk about it.
No, but let's go with it and go.
Yes.
So you guys are talking about bad writing. I'm talking about story destruction. What happened in Rise of Skywalker basically broke the foundation. You would not know about these if you don't have, like I said, a Disney account. And I agree with what you guys are saying with that storyline, but that's just bad writing. Rise of Skywalker was a bad story. That undid everything that you guys are talking about. It undid it there.
Not
what we followed.
Fine. All good?
Yeah.
Cool. Before I even press this one, I've got a big update for specifically Cecilia, Nerd Initiative, and Kuzo. We tried to change the batteries. I bought double A's. Turns out it's triple A's. It's not working perfectly yet. Sorry.
It's good
Almost though. There's like a little. So we're getting closer. We know what type of batteries we need, but not quite yet. We thought it'd be perfect for the Star Wars one. Yeah, he's aura farming you.
What have I done?
Yeah. A great round. Oh, I have a lot to say, but before I do, fact checker. He is I don't know what.
I wanted this to be an elevator, and I don't have the core muscles.
You're gonna want to take this off because what do you call a Jedi that's half dark, half light?
A grey Jedi.
You're that. Do that.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
No.
Yes. Okay, in Legends.
Okay.
But
Your fact. Oh, what I wanted to say is
who is also my favorite Jedi?
I also love him.
Yes.
He has the same hairstyle as my mom, and
The same beard as well.
And me.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I just wanted to say your facts will be valuable here because it's very tight.
No. So I just want to start off. Obviously, we're talking about the worst Star Wars projects. So I did the generic thing and I went onto Rotten Tomatoes. And it is crazy to see the difference between the critical response versus the audience response. So for Rise of Skywalker, critically, 51%. Based off the fans, 86%.
Oh, hi. I thought it'd be low.
Which is wild.
Yeah, okay.
For the Acolyte, critically, 79%.
Oof, that's rough.
Fans, 19%.
Yeah, the acolytes suck.
For Ahsoka, critically, 85%. And based off fans, 64%. Now, what is interesting, and no one touched on this, is the holiday special of Star Wars, which critically...
I'm glad no one mentioned that.
Critically, 25%, and based off of the audience, 24%. But let's start talking about some of the facts that were thrown around in this episode. The Acolyte cost approximately $230 million gross to produce, with a net expenditure of $187 million after UK tax reimbursement.
Yeah, so explain the budget then for me. Explain it. There's no explanation.
But what I will say is Jedi Master Kalnaka, who is the Wookiee,
Yeah.
he did in fact fight you. They are. You can go onto YouTube and very obviously see where he fought.
But he was mind controlled. It wasn't actually
fought.
him.
He fought.
But it was not him.
Another thing you did mention though, which is the Kiandi Mundi, the Conehead
guy.
Conehead. Obviously, there are a ton of accusations about the incredibly massive plot hole it brings up, which is just true. It apparently breaks Star Wars canon by featuring him in a storyline set 100 years before Phantom of the Menace, where they would very obviously know then that Sith do exist.
Maybe
you also
he was drunk because of his many wives.
But that's a story for another time.
We don't have the authority to write that story here. Then we also mentioned Anakin losing his special place in the Force because of Osha and May. They were also, in fact, created by their mother using a virgins in the Force. So they are a miracle birth with no father. And then we can finally move on from the Acolyte with one other fact that I have, which was that it is very noticeably that Ahsoka's character was changed from previous projects in the new one. Cool. Thank you very much.
Very good from everyone. I think we're going to start calling you the fact queen.
Well, I was wrong.
Yeah, but it's fine. I liked your interpretation. So Dolan, I really liked your energy. My problem is, I think they brilliantly brought up this point, which is technically Last Jedi made us lose faith. Because if I have to from my own perspective, 100%, I was so on board. And then Last Jedi, I was like, I'm done with this. I watched Rise of Skywalker with a bunch of friends, and we're going to talk shit about it while we watch it because I already lost faith. So I love what you're saying.
But then you still jump ship to watch and lose more faith.
No, there was no faith. I was watching it like I would watch a B movie. Like I had
Madam Web. Or
so
something.
yeah, exactly.
Because did you not just now lose?
The faith was lost at prank calls to Sith Lords in freaking. That's when I lost faith. That's the moment I lost faith. So I love your angle, and I think probably what your thing is the single worst thing of these three. I agree with that. I think it's absolutely terrible. But the argument of losing faith is actually, I think I lost it earlier. Then, Tebedien, I think you have very valid nitpicks. And I think because you have such a passion for Star Wars and you're very familiar with the lore, I think you struggle to look past that in Ahsoka, which is so valid. But I think inherently, the general populace agrees that it's a pretty good show, actually. You know, I agree with everything you're saying. But The Acolyte is a perfect combination of screw the property and also, we're not going to be very good, which is very sad because I can't remember the actor's name, but the lead from Squid Games being in that.
He was the only good thing.
And even the monk guy from The Good Place is in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so,
and Torin from Game of Thrones is also.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted that should have been good, and it wasn't. So
forgettable.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy, and I've heard everyone talk about how bad Acolyte is, and everything you said backs that up perfectly. So I think, Valerie, you get the first point, but I will honestly say, at every single one of you had the point at some point in this whole thing. I think you just rounded it out perfectly. Okay, let's move on to question 2. Keep the energy. Oh, this is my favorite question of the episode. There is basically nothing more iconic than the lightsaber. It truly is an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. But that age has passed. We're sure we could throw in a weapon even more iconic and suitable for the Jedis. Which weapon should replace lightsabers in all of Star Wars? Go, Valerie.
Okay, so I'm just going to get straight to it. I chose identity discs from Tron. Like Tron Legacy, Tron Ares, either way. My reason behind it, I was thinking like I want something that stays within the sci-fi universe that is mechanical but has like a mystical element infused into it. I want something that stays with the neon flashy lights that can stay in with like the combat the style of Star Wars but also improves it. So in my opinion, Identity Disc is perfect for this. It enhances the Force because Identity Discs are infused with the wielder. So it has like the wielder's identity stored in it. It's literally a part of the wielder's soul. All right. So if you use the Force in it, I'll get more into it. It just elevates it. It opens up distant combat. It stays within melee combat. It's portable. You can put it on your back. You can still flip. You can still use the Force. You can even use the Force to throw it and to maneuver it, which is freaking cool. So yeah, mine is Identity Disc from Tron.
Awesome answer. Tebedien.
I went the complete opposite direction because I deep dived into the lore of the Jedi, and from there I came up from the opposite end because Star Wars is basically a space opera, not necessarily so much sci-fi. So I went to my fantasy novels and chose the stuffs from Free Ren for 2 reasons. One, all those who know about George Lucas, that he drew the Jedi heavily from multiple sources, but one of them was the Shaolin monks Shaolin monks in China or Tibet. No, China, definitely China, and they use the bow staffs as one of the primary weapons because it amplifies the ability to defend oneself, but also maintaining pacificity. In short, they don't go for the kill. They always try and protect life, even your own. That embodies the ethos of the Jedi. And I wanted a staff-like weapon, apart from Gandalf, because Gandalf really doesn't use, as much as I love him, Gandalf doesn't use his powers through, if you read the books, that much from the staff. It's usually him. But in Free Ren, they channel the powers. They use the staffs to channel the powers through. And I could always see that they could redirect things, move things around with the staff. Combat like the Shaolin monks that there are, so they could also have nice, cool action sequences up close while also manipulating the Force, moving things around. And then, of course, if you go through the dark side, you can channel lightning through the staff and it will look epic AF. Well, imagine while one Sith shooting lightnings from that stuff while the other one is busy twirling the Jedi is busy twirling the light to deflect it and send it back. It will still look so awesome. So I choose that for the specific reason that it will look cool and it also holds up to the ethos of what the Jedi was supposed to be. Pacifist monks going out there doing the good in the world.
Awesome. Dolan.
I'm so out of my depth
it.
here, hey? So I in a geek a little bit, I looked at the same way you're looking, going, how do you actually, what is the question actually about? For me, the question wasn't about changing a weapon for a weapon. That was easy. Said, I think you guys did that. No, I'm teasing. So I went for the power ring from basically the lanterns. And why I went for it is because I'm not going to change a weapon for a weapon. What I want to do is I want to see a battle take place from the minds of the characters. You're looking at weapons, it's just using weapons. You pull out a sword, cool, you can change it for a dagger, cool, you can change it for a gun. You're still fighting. I want to see the character. I want to see what makes a character. I want to see what the character is thinking with every battle.
Please fight it out.
Okay, so when you go and you want to see what the characters are thinking, right? I would argue the Identities disc does that as well, because okay, a lot of people misinterpret what the lightsabers actually are. They believe if you hold a lightsaber, it magically becomes a color, and that color like represents your morality and your path and your role and everything like that. But no, it's a crystal that they build into a lightsaber, and you have to go to like this specific planet to bond with a crystal, right? But once you bond with a crystal, that's it. That's your color. No matter how much you change or what path you do what path you take in 10 years or something like. Only reason it will change if you become a Sith and you bleed it, right? But identity discs literally change with the wielder's emotions, thought, willpower, morality, everything like that. So it showcases what the wielder feels, what their judgment is, what their morality is through color. And that's why I feel like it elevates the Force. It elevates what the Force means in the weapon and how it connects to the wielder. It elevates the Star Wars universe within the weapon as well. It makes it more personal.
I hear you there, but it's still throw, duck, repeat. Throw, duck, repeat. Throw, duck, repeat.
And since the disc is based on the chakram, which is an Indian weapon, everyone knows, quote, high self-salt arts, don't come at me. I'm actually speaking nice about you guys. Everyone knows that the chakram is one of the most ineffective close melee weapons ever, because the blade actually will risk cutting you whenever they come up close. So
you're saying there's a level of skill involved, which you would have as a Jedi and a Sith.
I was about to
but
get
a
to that.
But a lightsaber gives you skill.
I'm about to say to that. And then if you decide to throw it and you have a sufficiently powerful enough Sith, you just either catch it or flick it away and now you are unarmed. So it's one of those that it's basically Thor's hammer back in the old days. If you throw it far enough, he loses its power. What's the point of throwing it?
It does. It's the same as a Leviathan axe in God of War. It comes back to you. And if you add the Force to it, imagine all the tricks and maneuvers you can do with it. Imagine the combat, the choreography that they can pull off with this. A staff is clunky. You walk through a door, you run through a door in a panic, and you get caught in the door.
It's basically like that Yandu's spear arrow thing when he whistles.
It's the same as your staff.
But as soon as it's broken, it's useless.
But it's the same as your staff. So remember, you guys are still. So you've replaced weapons with weapons.
Yes.
I've changed weapons to willpower, drive.
But that eliminates the Force.
No, that is the Force.
No, it's not. It's willpower.
But that is
not the
it.
Force.
How did Anakin change?
Which makes it even worse.
That is his own personal spirit and choice and morality. That has nothing to do with willpower.
What do you mean? So willpower you can duck. Throw it.
No, you can't. It's even worse. Willpower is vulnerable because...
No, but hang on. That's one-sided. You're not taking... Okay, remember, you're looking at one ring. There's multiple rings. You've got hope. You got willpower. You've got fear. You got anger.
So you want to use the Force as a battery for your ring, basically.
Well, so do the crystals.
No.
And so does your life force. You're dead.
They
You're not
harness
picking up.
it.
So
they're part of it.
Correct, but it's still battles. It's still weapon against weapon. I'm talking about willpower. Who's the strongest mind in the battlefield? On the battlefield.
As romantic as it sounds, the question was
romantic. Let's be honest.
Was to replace lightsabers. There's no way you can say lightsabers was used as a representation of a person's willpower. all these the fact remains that the lightsaber is a weapon, and mastering it was learning how to defend and or kill.
Correct. So, but if I want an action movie, I'll go watch an action movie. This changes it a lot bit. I'm not watching a Battlefield.
Or a cartoon, I'll go watch Green Lantern and DC.
Yeah.
But you guys gave up anyway, remember?
On top of that, let's stick to the fact that the Jedi's will be using the willpower ring. The one thing you learn in Sith Academy 101 is that the only way to defeat a Jedi is to overwhelm their emotions with either fear or doubt.
So you just get a different ring, which is a yellow ring.
If you come with this Jedi comes, all he needs to do is just rerun all his scariest moments, and that ring is useless. He's now practically disarmed.
Yours is imagination versus imagination, right? And it can quickly become overpowered and omnipotent, like it can...
But everybody's got it, remember? So remember, you're not just giving it to one person. Yeah. So you're going to say, so everybody's going to have the same disc you speak of. So everybody's going to be throwing, so all you're going to see is frisbees around.
But Star Wars is known for its combat, right? It's a very combat. When you have a ring, everything is going to be at a distance. You basically just stand still and use your imagination.
Remember, it's destroyed, eh? Disney broke it. So Disney broke it. We're not watching Star Wars anymore. I'm saying now, how do you change it? You're going to go and just have weapon and weapon again, staff and staff. No.
But you're just turning it into Green Lantern.
Yeah.
No, you're not turning. No.
Green Lantern 2.0.
You're not
at least with the staff.
But then you're turning it into Tron, and you're turning it into Lord of the Rings.
Fair enough.
Well, sorry, fair enough. I'm just used because you used Gandalf. I went back to. I don't know that.
At least with staffs, there's still an element of close range combat. That's why I referenced the Shaolin monks. The fight sequence, in fact, will look even better than what a certain franchise, Disney, has been producing. So that element, that satisfaction, the catharsis people are gaining with good action sequences will be fulfilled, as well as the magical element and wonder of the Force, using the staffs to redirect, throw things around, or shoot lightning, or whatever
but you can imagine lightning falling from the sky.
But quick, Tebelo, short closing argument, because I was so enthralled with we're way over time. I was just like, ooh. Okay. So give me a quick one. Everyone, quick ones. You can go first. A quick final statement. Unless you feel you've said what you need to say.
I'll just go back to my original statement. Like, nothing embodies the ethos of the Jedi more than having your bow staff, because it represents the willingness to protect life and also protect oneself in the duty of life.
Awesome. Dolan, give me a quick final.
I'm going to stick with the rings, and they can do the exact same thing you just mentioned as the exact same things you just mentioned. So I think it just changes the battlefield. I want to see what the character is thinking. You can see when the character is falling apart. You can see it. Why? Because of the way he's doing his battles now.
Awesome. Valerie?
All right, so I'm going to stick with Identity Disc because, in my opinion, it elevates the lightsaber concept. It infuses the Force. It stays within the Star Wars realm. It doesn't destroy the Star Wars mythological, spiritual elements. It doesn't go into a generic fantasy, and it doesn't go into like a comic booky, cartoony. Possibly it could become cartoony. It doesn't go into that. It stays with the neon flashiness of the weapons. It stays with the bond into the wielder. It stays within the close combat and distant combat, and it is very portable. Yes, a ring is also very portable, but it can stay on your back. You can fight with it. You can do maneuvers with it. You can use the Force to flip it around.
Short one. Time. Okay, I loved that round. Caleb?
So, a lot of what was spoken was just factually correct. I'm going to expand on it a little bit. The Jedi were partially inspired by Shaolin monks, alongside Japanese samurai, Zen Buddhism, and the medieval knights. Originally, kyber crystals are colorless, but then turn blue, green, or other colors when attuned to a Jedi's energy during the bonding process. Red kyber crystals do not happen naturally unless they are bled by a Sith.
What does that mean? Sorry.
You just go, I'm so angry.
You dominate the crystal with your anger, pain, and fear.
You literally bleed it until it goes, I can't be green anymore. I'm so sad.
It's not like the Acolyte where you actually physically bleed on the crystal. That is sacrilege.
Terrible way of illustrating.
Wait, did they literally bleed on the crystal?
They literally bled on it, yeah.
No,
Fun fact, the bleeding of the crystal is actually a Disney creation. Back in the Legends era, the only reason why the lightsabers were red is because the Sith could only generate synthetic kyber crystals. And they because the kyber crystals were a secret kept by the highest Jedi Order. So only at that point, I think only Yoda knew exactly where the planet was, and Dooku. But then
That's a very. I can see that Caleb wants to fact check you on that. It is very fascinating.
It was introduced in the Disney era. That is correct.
very, very interesting.
Yes.
Fact. Okay, continue.
Cool.
Very cool.
Also, no, I have to correct you. She didn't physically bleed on the kyber crystal. Her finger was touching the kyber crystal, so the crystal was exposed when she was very angry in the acolyte, and that is why
is that
the
where it,
crystal
like, slowly?
Yes.
Now you can actually physically
Okay,
see her blood.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't care about that. Keep going. That was the previous
But
round.
I mean, okay. I don't know.
Okay,
I'll
well,
have to go
in
check.
regards to the chakram, it is a traditional Indian weapon specifically designed for throwing, but it can be used for both ranged attacks as well as close quarters combat. I need to see something quickly.
Reckoning Kingdoms of Amalur had a great chakram.
Yes.
and Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah. Okay, do the chakrams aren't that important to me.
Okay, no, that's...
Don't fact check the fact checking
no.
round.
This is the first... Okay, so in the Acolyte, it was the first instance of a kyber crystal bleeding in live action. It does also happen in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And there you can see a little bit of blood on the crystal from what I can see.
You can.
But it is not her blood that causes the crystal.
I really don't get it. That's the previous round. Oh, that's it. Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's it.
She retains her crown.
Very, fact queen. Very, very entertaining round. I think the winner of this point is going to be surprised because even though it seemed that they were being ganged up on, I make the final decision. Dolan, you're going to get the point because I think you did something brilliant, which is you found a way to, I'm not saying it makes it better, but it could potentially make it better because it changes everything about how you approach it. And I think there was a mistake made in saying there's the force and the willpower. I think in this environment, it bleeds into one. There's all these different colored rings, which fits nicely into the themes and everything. I think you guys tried too hard to match what it already was. Dolan said, okay, if we're going to change it, let's find a way to do it in a way that's interesting. It doesn't just enhance combat opportunity, it enhances storytelling and character. And also, the reason Green Lantern is goofy is because they're generating planes and machine guns.
Yeah.
There's no planes and machine guns in. So
and the middle finger.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. So I do think that in a world of fantasy opera, they'd probably use it in a more interesting way. I wish you did fight back a little bit harder on how you do the combat, but it's fine. I think
so ganged up.
Sorry.
no, so I think it's just in general very creative, so I'll take that. But everyone made fantastic points. I was loving. I was in my head preparing to say, sorry guys, Valerie gets a second point. But one of my favorite knockdowns ever is your whole argument of if the Sith is as good at wielding an identity disc, they would catch it. So that's a very, very clever point, and that immediately knocked Valerie out for me. And then Dolan remained. Dolan remained the champion. So that's 1 point Dolan, 1 point Valerie, and we will go into question 3. As Tebello so eloquently showed us in the past, it does not get much cooler than Darth Vader. We're never going to let this go. But a lot of Star Wars villains certainly come close, maybe even close enough to overthrow his lordship. So tell us, except for Darth Vader, who is the coolest Star Wars villain? And of course, Tebello has to go first. He owns this question.
Okay. All right. I went into deep lore here.
Yeah.
For those who are not aware, maybe you play the games because the character does appear, but I chose Darth Malgus. And I'm just going to summarize it very quickly. Darth Malgus is who Darth Vader thinks he is.
Oh, wow.
Darth Malgus Darth Vader has a poster of Darth Malgus underneath his pillow at night. He knows how to aura farm in a correct basis. I mean, he stands right there in front of the Jedi Temple while a ship flies behind him, and that's proper aura without it affecting your job. He doesn't need to make theatrics for anyone. He's a combat specialist. He wiped out half the Jedi Council in the Old Republic era, as well as the classic. One of my favorite pieces of information that I love about Darth Malgus is that he fell in love once, and he saw that was a problem, and rescued the girl and stabbed her in her bed. Made sure this love nonsense is not going to deter him from his dedication to the dark side. He's a combat specialist. He knows how to rock a cool cape. The first time we get to meet him canonically speaking, is when he ascends to the rank of Sith Master by killing his own master in one of the perfect animated combat sequences in any Star Wars cinematography ever. On top of that, the feats that he's done, he sacked Coruscant, burnt it to the ground. He lost his battle in Alderaan, but he survived and became an even bigger menace. And not only that, well, you're gonna have to go into some deep lore here. I'm sorry for the fact checkers, but because they did change the storyline a bit. Thank you, Disney. But according to legends, there was a time where when he eventually gets beaten, he gets jumped by a whole lot of Jedi, including a Jedi Master who uses a passive ability. She doesn't use a lightsaber, but she strengthens the force senses of the people around her. He detected that problem and immediately took her out. That's how he went out in a blaze of glory. And that's why Darth Vader is, for me, one of the coolest.
Oh, awesome. You clearly do love him, Dolan.
Again, flippin' heck. Well done. So I went a little bit obscure again, and when I saw the character the first time, it just rung Clint Eastwood for me. So I chose Cad Bane because I think that he's a villain that I think Star Wars needs, and that's to grow almost like the next volume of stories, we can call it that, because he's not a Sith. He has no force power. He basically adapts himself to every situation. I mean, if you look at him now, he's got those vents that he breathes through to so that you can't get force choked, which I think is brilliant. So for me, that character is just different. It's different. It's not power. He's not using power. He's not going there for I've got the biggest ship. I've got the most force that I could use. He's going in there, he's reading the situation, and then he controls it. He's the one that walks into the middle of a situation. He does not use people. He does not use fleets. He's a guy that goes, I will take you on face to face. So that's why I chose Cad Bane.
All right, I'm going to try and keep this short, but there's so much to say. Okay, so I chose Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I want to make it clear that the Thrawn I'm speaking of is the Thrawn from the books, not the Thrawn from Rebels or from Ashoka. That's an atrocity. And so Thrawn, in my opinion, is the best villain, not just written in Star Wars, written overall, like in all of fantasy and mythology. He is very calculating. He's very smart. And the reason why he's failing in Rebels and in Ashoka is because unfortunately, when you want to write smart characters, you need to be smart. So, sorry, Dave Filoni, but yeah, your writing really failed there.
More like Dave Filoni, am I right? Keep going.
But anyway, he's very smart. He's very calculating. He is not a force wielder. He's one of the only non-human Grand Admirals. He's gained the respect of Palpatine, who is very prejudiced against any other race. He came from out of nowhere with like a little fleet and somehow onto the remaining fragments of the empire that was left after Darth Vader was gone. He is, I don't know, he's just always 10 steps ahead of everybody. Like, you have that victory Luke, Leia, and Han did was very, very earned. Very earned. He doesn't affect just storylines or small sequences. He affects the whole bloody galaxy. He is epic.
Also,
I just freaking love Thrawn.
Yeah. Okay. You guys argue it out. It won't be long because you guys love representing. Go for it.
I'm sorry. I tried to keep it short.
As much as I can hear the glazing for Thrawn, facts about it, an assassin took him out. So
In where?
Same law. I'm not going technically in the same in currently. Disney, we're not talking about you.
But I just said I'm not talking about that.
But honestly, you can I am considering every version of this character across all.
But in all the law, he gets taken out by an assassin. He thinks 10 steps ahead in any other situation, but didn't account for the assassin in his room. That's the legendary issue that I have with him. But one of the big issues with Thrawn is glazed to death. For all your history friends, Thrawn is the Rommel of the Imperial forces, and that is like he's the only competent person in a sea of incompetence. And to quote someone, I'm gonna censor it down because this is a kids show, but it's gonna come out raunchy anyway. Glass shards look like diamonds when compared to poop. So that's the problem. He's a good shining example in a sea of bad things. As for Cad Bane, he's a very good character for if the story was going to something like a space western, because he is nothing more than space cowboy. But if you take away the iconic super villaininess of a character, you're gonna end up with a Solo 2.0. Nobody's going to want to watch that because nobody can relate to this character. Yes, he's cool and dexterous, but his combat abilities is pew pew, nothing else.
Okay, I hear you, but now you're saying that I have to change it for you to going, okay, but now you're saying take away his guns. I'm saying, cool, take away the Force. What do you have?
Darth Vader was shoved into a tree and was barely surviving.
No, but you're removing his guns. You're removing his gun. I'm saying then you take away the Force, and you're one-on-one. And I think that's why. You guys are you're telling good stories. You're saying
Melgus tanked a grenade to the face.
All of yours have like respiratory breathing machines. Mine breathes on his own.
Yeah, but yours needs a fleet. Without the fleet, what does he have? Nothing.
He has the ability to make a fleet out of nothing.
Correct. So take it away again. Then you've got to build another one. Take it away. Build another one.
He'll
Take it
just
away.
come back. He has plans upon plans.
And let's
upon
not
plans.
forget there are times where they write it as he outsmarted the main character, but he did run away from my man Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, because he knows some battles you have to lose to win the war. He actually knows that, and he does that. He does it strategically. And one that makes him stand out actually is that he's not afraid to admit that he needs to back off. Unlike other, he's actually smart enough to know he shouldn't sacrifice more of his men, more of his resources. He needs to pull back to come back stronger next time. That's one of the things why he's so tactical, why he's so threatening.
And
because
yet he still didn't have the
ability to
presence
flip
of mind to arrest and lock up a single Jedi that flung him to another galaxy.
Well, in the books he
But
definitely did.
he didn't need the Force to do that. See, you need the Force. She needs an entourage.
No, thank you.
Cad Bane just walks in on his own and says, "Let me handle the situation, and if I'm not winning like yours, I will escape. And when I come back, I've got a better plan and I'm better prepared." You just going with brute force. I've got all this force and I'm going to use it. I'm going to rule the empire until you have another Sith that's going to want to take you out. So
the question I need to ask you.
Wait. It's closing. Remember your question. Go for it. Say what it means.
That was it. So Cad Bane handles the situation. He walks in and controls everything. And because he doesn't have this big aura about him, you don't even know he's there.
Make your closing.
All I just to say is that Cad Bane is basically Boba Fett, generic Boba Fett. Thrawn's epicness is only known by those who understand the legends, and he's being let down by the original lore. Nobody really cares about him as much as the Glazers. And once again, like I said, he's just a piece of glass. It's not a diamond. Darth Malgus is an epic character that made people make people want to relook at the Old Republic once again, because not only did he succeed in doing what Darth Vader never could, dealing with his feelings, he also managed to take down so many Jedis until both the Sith and the Jedis thought he was a problem.
Okay. I didn't. Okay. Valerie, give us your closing.
All right, so I would argue yours is a generic gunslinger. Yours is a generic Sith among so many Siths with similar vibes, similar storylines, similar gunslingers, similar storylines. Admiral Thrawn is completely unique. He is the Sherlock Holmes of Star Wars. He is very difficult to write. He's very difficult to get a handle on. If they did the Thrawn trilogy as the actual sequels, it would have been a diamond. He has the potential to be a diamond. He is a diamond in the books. The original source material from Timothy Zahn is a diamond. And they're completely messing it up because of their own incompetence, because of the writer's incompetence is shining through towards Thrawn in the Disney media. And I don't think that should be reflected on who Thrawn actually is in the foundation, in the core. And in the core, he is a very hard force to beat without the Force.
Cool. Time. Great round. Love it. Caleb?
So a lot was said.
Yeah, good luck. You do not.
Yeah.
Good luck keeping up.
I'm really out of place, by the way. So well done.
You're doing good.
Fact number 1. Dolan has said he's very out of place 4 times. But I would like to say this. Anything Darth Malgus-wise is considered deep lore. He is a deep lore character. But he is not currently canon, only existing in Star Wars Legends continuity. Darth Malgus was directly responsible for leading an assault that resulted in the deaths of half of the Jedi High Council, like you said. And yes, he did kill his lover because he was like, "Oh, I've got to get rid of these feelings."
She's a weakness, yeah.
Darth Malgus survived multiple severe explosions to the face and head. Not just one, multiple. So that's everything with Darth Malgus. In regards to Admiral Thrawn, the Legends and canon versions both have different backstories and motivations, so they can be considered two different characters. He is recognized as the only non-human to hold the high rank of Grand Admiral in the Imperial Navy.
Exactly.
Currently, in Legends lore, which you wanted to fight, it's the only one where his death has been explored, and he was assassinated by his own bodyguard. In regards to Cad Bane, a lot was said about his limitation of weapons. He doesn't just have his little guns. He has weaponized gauntlets, rocket boots, thermal detonators, and his breathing apparatus does also stop force choking from taking place. He also has I wasn't going to list them all. He has so many freaking weapons. And that's everything.
He's not just a Western.
Sure, that makes it so tough. So I will say, Valerie, you were the reason you don't get the point, because you spent as much time talking about how bad an adaptation he is, because I want coolest villain. Don't give me a million reasons why he's only cool in half the versions he exists in. So I want something who's just, like, for instance, like a Darth Vader and a Darth Maul. Yes, there's so many but he's always, you're happy when he's on screen, whereas you made me less interested in him. So I hear what you're saying, and it's a very good point, but not a good point for this argument. I am so struggling choosing between the two of you. The one question I have, as someone who's not exposed to that much Star Wars, and I think that's why maybe giving me an honest answer to this, is Cad Bane at all an anti-hero, or is he just villain?
So in the beginning, so if you're going to go down to like 54 BB1, all that stuff, he started off as just a normal bounty hunter, but then he started hating the Jedi. So if you hate the Jedi, what are you?
Yeah, and he traffics Jedi kids, by the way.
Not only go there when he tries to go and traffic them to find them so that the Sith can kill him.
Okay, it's fine.
And Boba Fett beats him twice.
Okay, it's fine. I think I am gonna go towards Tebedien because I think he had just a nice takedown of everyone. The one thing that frustrates me is how deep lore almost, but it makes him a legend. And you brought up enough facts that were fact checked and proven to be correct. And I think the emphasis is coolest villain, and he brings the villain. I mean, killing your own lover to eliminate any sign of weakness is a very Sith thing to do. But it just fits the character, and I think you painted also a million bombs to the face. So I guess it makes sense. I really wanted to get it to Cad Bane because I love the little bit about him, like making himself choke-proofed.
But the question was,
it happened once
a villain. We've had these. Sith has always been a villain. So
I know. It's tough. So, it is tough.
I get you. I get you to give points away for free. I mean, it's fine.
It's so tough. I was so between the two of you, but I think that's the problem. You brought coolest. He brought villain. So it's like, which one? But I think just because he offered better takedowns, it's part of the argument. So his takedowns of everyone else added to it.
He's got all the law on the back. Yes.
Can I add an interesting fact? This is nothing to do with like anything really, but Thrawn also can stop the Force and prevent force choking or any Force ability because he uses an animal that can block the Force. So he wears it like a scarf.
The problem is your character.
I'm sorry, but like that's so cool.
You shouldn't have gone into how bad the other versions. Then I would have listened to everything you had to say. Okay, but
they went into it, so I felt like I had to.
This just sucks because this is the first time ever I so badly just want to give 2 points away. It sucks because it is really like almost a flip of a coin going with.
I actually just want to. I want to sit on the side actually, and I want to like watch you two go. The info is just too good.
No,
what broke my heart with that's why Ahsoka really broke one of the chief things I wanted to mention, that the Thrawn representation was piss poor.
But he also just looks stupid. I don't know how he usually looks, but he looks
so badass in
an ugly Cad Bane.
He looks like a blue Elon Musk.
An ugly Cad Bane.
That's not how he's supposed to look. That's not how.
Look, we're not even gonna go with Legends. If you look at the Rebels, he looked so menacing and over-imposing in Rebels.
He intimidates everybody in
that show, and then compared to the live adaptation, it was such a letdown. And on top of that, logically speaking, you're a genius. This kid, Jedi Jedi apprentice in any standards, flying you to another part of the galaxy. You don't imprison him. You don't lock him up. By the time we get to this decades later, the kid is living in the farms in the bundus out there.
But there's always a kid living on a farm.
No, but the only logical explanation is that he let the kid go.
Yeah. Well, I'm tired of that question. I'll let another question
Moving on.
Let's see what happens when Disney tries to do another trilogy. Who knows, man? Anything could happen at this point. We can at least put a little bit of power back in our hands by having you tell us which actor or actress should lead the next Star Wars trilogy, and we will start with Dolan.
Please be gentle. So, I do actually sometimes enjoy a female character, especially a lead, and especially when one can carry her own on screen. So I went for Anna Taylor-Joy, and the reason for that is because she has this presence about her. She can actually, she holds the screen without even saying much. For me, she will probably be one of the best villains in Star Wars because of her presence. It would be like a side swap. If she had the ring, she'll just sit there and you'll be chatting to her. Next minute, it's like a blade through your neck. She's like, I'm done with you. So I feel like she will control the moment. And I'm talking about, of course, her previous screens. I just feel like that is the person you want. So when you talked about like commanding a fleet and all that, for me, she'll position everything. If you gave her the Force, I think she will be one of the strongest Sith in the universe.
I love that. Let's go with Tebelo.
Okay, I chose. Oh well, this is basically fan service from the deepest recesses of my heart. I'm not going to go into great details about stuff like that because I chose Justice Smith. He's a dynamic actor. We've seen him in works like Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah, was he in that?
I just saw him in.
Isn't there like the School of Magical? I can't say the word.
There's the School of Magical distinguished gentleman of African descent.
Okay.
We also have him, but he's also his performance in Detective Pikachu was brilliant. And why I like him is that Star Wars has an element of action, but it also has an element of goofy humor that comes in once in a while. And he can bring the humor, but he also can bring in the level of action. I mean, he also was in Dungeons and Dragons. You can see he can hold himself in combat sequences. He can also hold himself in deep character development roles because he was a wizard that doubted himself, and he had to realize he should stop looking up to his dad. He should look up to himself. And on top of that, and my number one reason is because it will finally bring the lot together. He looks just like the right fit if you squint your eyes hard enough. He looks just like the love child between Finn and Rey Papa Skywalker.
Okay. Interesting.
How hard was she?
Yeah, but I like that. That's clear.
If you do that, we'll finally have a POC lead character who uses the Force like they were teasing us in The Force Awakens. That will definitely bring people back. It will also bring people, and with his acting chops, and if they finally get the action sequences right, I think he'll basically bring the love of Star Wars back for the next generation.
Awesome. Valerie.
All right, so this was a very intricate question for me because I had to think of what would I like to see in the next trilogy. What would I like to see the next trilogy be about? And I think they need to start from scratch, really. And I don't mean a recast or a reboot. I don't mean that. Like they need to start in a world where there are no Jedi, no Sith. The Force is a mysterious element, maybe considered like a threat and treated as a threat. So I thought then I thought, okay, what actually from the new Star Wars for our generation actually, communicated something to the audience. And that was, for me, the video games with Call Kesto, with Call Kesto, right?
Call Kestis.
Kestis. Yeah, sorry, I keep saying it. With Call Kestis, right? And that's just about a normal guy who was... he was in a Jedi Academy when the Order 66 happened, and he escaped that, and then he had to deal with a lot of trauma from that, and he had to rediscover the Force and everything like that. So he was just a normal guy people could relate to. And then I thought, okay, what actor can I actually see in this? And also, I believe that Star Wars is at its best when it creates stars, not uses stars. So like unknown actors, when the actor doesn't carry the story, the character carries the story. So I went for a relatively unknown actor, which is Finn Bennett, which is mostly known for his role as Arion Targaryen in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And I'll explain more why I chose him later.
Awesome. He's got like super white eyebrows. That's everyone, right? Okay, fight it out. Go for it. And keep in mind that those were big opening arguments. So when we get to closing, nice and short, get whatever you need to say, get it.
Are you going to go down the law for this?
No. Here,
This is dreaming. So
This is gut feel.
Exactly. So I want to bring that up, and that's what I was doing. So when I read the questions, I actually kept, and it's weird, I kept my questions in that storyline. So when I got to Taylor Joy, I had to see the change of the villain. I had to see, okay, if you could redo Rise of Skywalker, if you had to give her a power ring. You mentioned it quite well, and I thought about it as well when you said, I want to restart. Correct. And I loved how they did it in the 70s when no one had Twitter to know what movies' ratings were and who's who. Yes, use a new actor. But today, sadly, monopolies win. So they want someone who's going to draw attention to the screen. And I think Taylor Joy does that, and especially when I look at from the Queen's Gambit. You spoke about working up your ranks and being their best Sith. Watch that TV show. She demands respect at every chessboard she sits at, and she works through. She gets thrown into a corner. You're nothing. You have to grow up. But when you see her and you see how she has a presence in every screen, it makes sense. Your character, watching in Dungeons and Dragons, I think it was, he's not a lead. He's just there. He's not carrying the show. He's just in the show. I watched a little bit of the True Detectives with him. Same thing. They in the show. They're not carrying the show. I think she is the show, and that is what I believe Star Wars needs.
Now, I believe like using a popular character in the Monopoly, like you said, could be a double-edged sword. And many times it's been proven like that. I don't want Anya Taylor-Joy fatigue, like I had Pedro Pascal fatigue, Tom Holland fatigue. And that's what I think it will become if you cast a character like that. And like it's been
more
proven.
Importantly, she's going to be featuring in Dune 3. So it's going to be basically Ryan Reynolds jumping from one franchise to another, and that's going to jar.
But that's a difference. That's a difference. When you look at her, you don't see her. You see the character, and that's what I'm trying to say about your characters. Your characters are your characters. They're still there. You know who they are. I'm saying the moment. I mean, did you know what to go Anna Taylor-Joy because she was a chick from Queen's Gambit? No,
yes.
She really. I look at the character. The character was just amazing. And then you saw in that other goofy thing where there was a gorge and all that. It doesn't matter. You don't see her. You see the character, and I think that's what makes it Anna Taylor-Joy at the moment.
I see her though.
Yeah, but for me, for her presence, it's that she can hold it. And that she can hold it better than, for my opinion, what you guys have mentioned.
And here's the problem. She'll be a very intimidating creature who brings a lot of intensity, but that in and of itself creates a distance from her and the audience. Remember, the main character needs to be somewhat of a POC, a point of view character.
POV.
POV, not PC, sorry.
A POV, POC. You just got a POC, POV.
Like Unusual Suspects.
Yeah.
You didn't even see the character. You heard about him right until the end. And when you saw it, you're like, wow, my mind, bang.
Now let's compare it to something like a franchise such as Star Wars. We want to see the world through their eyes. If you create a character that's intimidating or jarring, most people will just say, look at that censored word, and that'll create some distance. And we had characters like that. For an example, Kenobi. We had that Jedi, that Inquisitor who was busy irritating everybody, and everybody hated her. As much as she was a talented actress, they didn't like that character because she was too much. So people will see that and just see, wow, what I censored, and then we think this is too much, and they won't be able to flow into it. And as for your character, I just have one thing to say. I'm not gonna argue much, but kids, look him up, take a close look, and then ask yourself, doesn't he look like Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi.
You're squinting a lot.
You are squinting a lot.
No. I saw the picture. They're like, this is just.
I know what you mean.
Okay,
Luke
like,
2.0. But anyway,
Let
that's
me
the
explain
only.
a little, like, why I chose Finn Bennett. Okay, so yes, he plays a more side character in True Detective. Yes, he plays a more side character in Warfare. But he's shown he can play a relative innocent, good-natured character that goes through a traumatic event which changes his life and his trajectory in True Detective. He's shown that he can do combat roles in Warfare, very emotional because it actually depicts what war really is like. He's shown range through that. And he's also shown that he can bulk up, he can physically perform. And in The Night of the Seven Kings, he actually has sword fighting experience. He learned how to fight with a sword, to do the stunts himself. Mostly, he didn't have a stunt double, but he actually did the close-up scenes with the sword fighting himself. He plays a villain so good in that show. That's where he started becoming famous, because he literally stole the show from a small role where he plays an asshole, but he plays it so good. And then you watch his interviews and he's the best sweet-natured person. So for me, he can do range. He can do range. And we can go back to what George Lucas intended Star Wars to be: a hero's journey, good versus evil, someone who has like temptations with evil, but who chooses good in sense. So he can play, to me, he's proven he can play both. He can play good
wonderful
and bad.
argument.
Can I take that as your final argument? Because that was such a nice. Or do you want to say more?
Can I just say one more
Okay,
line?
so add something, and then I'm going to take it as your
Okay.
final.
Wait, you are arguing Anna Taylor-Joy as a villain, which is not a protagonist, in my opinion, which is not the lead. We're talking about what can lead, what can be versatile. You just want to do the villain, which is technically the second lead in a show. So that's not a lead character. Your character is very timid. He is a good side character. He's proven he's been a good side character. Finn Bennett is something new, something fresh, and he's proven that he's got the physical ability. He's got the know-how to do what needs to be done in combat, and he is very versatile in his range of acting.
Cool. Tebedien, you wanted to say, so make it your final.
No notes about his argument. You're painting a villain. Villain POV stories may make the range, but people get sick and tired of them very quickly. I mean, I'm not gonna go into names, start naming names. More importantly, you are restarting the franchise, because that's the only way you see you can reconcile the hot mess that Disney's created. I have offered an alternative where people can start afresh with a new character, but continuing from the current storyline. That's my main takeoff. That's why I'm saying this is the meeting point between what the fans wanted, a POC Jedi warrior, plus continuing the legacy of Palpa Skywalker. I'm not gonna give her the full title, no matter how hard you're gonna try to force it down my throat.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
No matter how hard you try to force it down my throat, I'm not gonna give it the light of day. But on top of that, Justice Smith is an all-rounder actor. His recent performances was in A Love Story, for heaven's sake, and he was the lead in Detective Pikachu. He took this thing and it made the franchise went crazy. The love for Star Wars kicked off thanks to the love for Pokemon. Kicked off thanks to that Detective Pikachu. People went back. People started buying Pokemon Red again. People wanted back for the nostalgia vibes. He does the right blend of nostalgia plus something new, because it wasn't just Pokemon fighting. He was the lead in that particular movie.
Awesome.
So,
Dolan, final.
Okay, so I think, again, you're right. I like sticking a little bit to the villain side, because, like I said, on my brief side, I stuck with a villain, but I want to see a villain. I want to see a good villain. I want to see when I say a clean villain, a villain that stays a villain. Your character will cry and be soppy and all this little jazz.
Who says that?
Based on history. So, and you chose yours, and you said yours going, you want someone that's going to be pop, energetic, and humorous. You had BB-8, C-3PO, and R2-D2 for that. You don't need more side jokes on the side. I want someone that walks into the screen and that she draws my attention. Not because it's her, but the way she will be able to just walk in and take over the universe. Not cry about it and think about it, my feelings, and think, maybe, and then who am I going to... I want to see that. And I think Darth Vader gave it to us right until then. And that was good. And that was what was exciting about the Darth Vader one. It was just raw power. We missed that in a Star Wars saga. So even if you reboot it, yes, we all love good, happy stories. But sometimes evil wins. And sometimes I want to see it. I want to see Star Wars get pulled apart to the end. And I want someone who can give us that presence on the screen.
Awesome. Time. I'm very excited to speak, but Caleb can speak first. He's the C-3PO to my R2-D2.
Oh, so I'm the one that speaks sense.
Wow.
I speak sense. Beep, boop, 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 boop. That's you.
Go for it.
Okay, firstly, I'm just going to start off by saying, guys, put some respect on Justice Smith's name. Like, he's been acting in things at the start.
Was
So,
it
like,
Now You See Me 3?
yeah, literally. So these are just some of the films that you have probably watched that star Justice Smith, because when I think it was Tebedien was like, and he acted in the things, and then
I'm going to do this every time it's a movie I've seen. Go.
So Dungeons and Dragons, Jurassic World, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, All the Bright Places.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Okay, so those are just movies I know that are.
Oh, that's it.
Those are just the popular movies he's been in. He's been in so
And
many
Detective
things.
Pikachu,
Yes.
yeah.
So he's been in a ton of things, so don't think that he's unknown. I just want to know, Valerie, what's wrong with casting the actor who played Cal Kestis to play Cal Kestis?
I think he's a bit too old now to play Cal. I don't want
Character's
to play,
age.
I don't
Anyway,
want-
Cameron Monaghan is the one who played Cal
he's
Kestis.
brilliant. But I don't want Cal Kestis to be. I want a similar story to Cal. Kestis.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh.
Keep going.
Okay, then I want to talk about Finn Bennett, who did perform his own sword fighting and stunts work for his role. And then we were, at the end, near the very end, someone was like, oh, villain movies, they never really have any staying power. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, let's go through some villain movies that have a ton of staying power. So we have The Godfather, part 1, 2, and 3, American Psycho, Scarface, Nightcrawler, No Country for Old Men, Clockwork Orange, Joker.
And they're all in
then
space.
Not even half of
Oh,
it.
sorry.
Wolf of Wall Street. I count that.
Okay.
Oh, we're talking about
Okay, no. So don't. No, what he is saying.
Yes,
is
okay,
there's
no, I'm
good
teasing.
ones,
I'm teasing. You know me, I like to debate.
Once again, that's why you never concede a point, because even though they were discounting you, you by far had the best argument here. Like, this is 100% your point. The problem is, Valerie, you 100% made it sound like you were trying to make a Cal Kestis movie. You did not clear, like I did not once get something like this, because you went so deep into describing him stuff. So, because your answer, when I was reading the answers, was my favorite by far. I loved your answer. I thought it was so creative. Loved the new face. I wish you went in on that thing, the way new people were brought in the beginning and now they just do fan castings. And he mentioned it more than you did. So I think you it did sound like you wanted to make a Cal Kestis thing. So I think maybe what you were thinking and what you were saying weren't connecting as good this
It's
time,
inspired by
which is
Cal
so
Kestis.
sad for me, because I love your answer. But I agree. I want to see the villain. I like everything you've said. I agree that, yes, she has a unique look. So you do see Anna Taylor-Joy, but she is very much her character. In even something like, just a stupid thing that I would have added is New Mutants, not a good movie. She's fantastic in that. And she's so cool.
Yeah,
magic.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
is so good
100%.
in that. Like, imagine something, it's cool.
But I'm always worried people don't see that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I hated your answer until you started speaking on it. I'm like, wow, well, look at you turning around my opinions. I like the idea of how you tied it in, but the problem is I didn't see you fixing the mess. You were just doing a new movie that reminds us. It's like the mess is in the DNA of the new character, and you wanted to keep going with the whole Palpatine thing. So I think you gave me a fresh perspective, and maybe it's because I'm tired, but I'd love to see someone just come and rip Star Wars apart. That sounds fun.
Watch Dune then.
Dune's boring, so I'd rather watch it.
But Dune is basically take all the light and hope out of Star Wars.
exactly. Dune. No, but I think there's something more muhaha in what he's pitching, which I like. So great answer. And I will give it to you. I am sad, Valerie. I am sad because I was so excited for what you had to say. So awesome job, Dolan. I probably a lot of people won't agree with me, but I'm famously the one who doesn't care. So we will, just to make it clear, that's 1 point Tebello, 1 point Valerie, 2 points Dolan. You're going into speed round. Let's see, either one of these two will secure their spot, or you will get a third point and there'll be a tiebreaker. So let's see what happens.
Is this like a reality show? Can we team up now?
Oh, please don't do that, because I have no answer to it. Okay, question 5. If there's one thing that is done excellently in the literal Star Wars universe, it is world building, or maybe more specifically, planet building. And with such a large variety to choose from, we figured it would only be fair to ask you which Star Wars planet you would most prefer to live on, and we will start with Valerie.
All right, so imagine you live. In my mind, I'm rich in this universe. Okay, that's
I'll let you have it.
important.
Yeah. You can have that.
I dictate this where I am in this world. Okay, I'm rich. So cool. I am a rich businesswoman, and I have like a gas mining industry. So therefore, I live in a luxury penthouse, technically in the freaking clouds. And that is Bespin, Cloud City. I think it is the best planet to live on when you have circumstances like I have.
Wow.
But even if you don't have circumstances like I am, it's still the best planet to live on, even if you're poor, because it's literally a planet that is the least involved in the wars. It is literally a planet that is economically stable. It has crime, yes, but it's not overruled by the crime. Crime is like a side note to the city. It's not built into its DNA. And it's beautiful. It's breathtaking. Imagine waking up every day to the most beautiful painting of a sunset and a sunrise and things like that. And it's gorgeous. It's breathtaking. And it's just a city of luxury.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, let's hear from Tebelo.
Okay, I went into an interesting direction here because I thought where would I like to live in doesn't mean which date and time.
Yes.
That's the important.
Very important.
That's the important thing. But I chose Alderaan. Alderaan for the once again deep lore. People are being accused of deep lore today.
I like it.
Alderaan was basically nothing short of a utopic civilized planet. It has a rich history. I mean, when they used to take out diplomatic missions to other planets, they were the ones providing food, care, aid, because there was no such thing. They were a very peaceful society. They thought nothing about violence. They did have the points of violence before. They are basically one of the linchpin planets that started their resurgence back into the Republic when it came to the time of the Empire. When the Empire was over, when the Sith Empire was overwhelming everyone, where people decided to make the biggest stand was Alderaan. So it does have a rich history of fighting for what is right, and I'd want to be a part of that while going out and doing what is right things. Sure, it's not perfect. People smugglers do come in and kidnap children, apparently. But it's a peaceful society. I'd be happy. It doesn't matter what class I'd be in. I wouldn't have to become a rich bastard or a hat or anything to sit at the top of the food chain. I'll be there just being altruistic, helping people around me, and once again having intense political debates here and there, going around and telling the senators, stop being corrupt and making things worse for us. So that's why I chose Alderaan, because it just tickles my lore fans. It's a beautiful planet.
Yeah.
It's wide, expensive, bright colors, and it's I'd be happy there.
Doomed.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Dolan.
So I'm going to start the way you guys also did yours because it's quite interesting. So I'm not going to go with rich or anything and this side. Mine would be, again, I want to be in the middle of everything. So I chose Coruscant. And that is because that is basically the middle of the universe. That is where everything happens. You go in there and you got levels. So you're going to go into deep lore now. Now you're going to go like, the level ones, which I believe is rumored where the humans started. So you got your levels and you got multi-levels and you go to the top. You've got the where the Empire or the Jedi get together. So I chose Coruscant because of the availability and the opportunities that you have there. Whereas you guys did choose a little bit outlying areas, but I'm choosing where I want to be, where everything happens and where everything matters. I'll defend as you guys come at me.
Awesome. Fight it out.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. No matter which time you live it, eventually either you or your kids are going to be dead, and your whole culture is going to be dead. Now it's a utopia, yes, but you're also very passive. passive, therefore you're bullied a lot. You're very involved in the war. You get dominated a lot.
Bullied a lot.
Yes, because you're a passive state, right? And only later in life.
When Darth Vader took a bomb to the face and was flung into a tree, which planet was that in?
Yes, it was, but that's later in life. In the start, you guys are very passive, and yes, you're very involved in the war. Bespin stays out of the war for the majority of its entire existence.
Until one fateful day when somebody walked in and went like,
Yes, but then they take it back as well. So again, it has entries into the war, but it also exits it again. It stays within that realm of, are we in the war or are we independent? And most of the time, it's actually in a neutral zone.
And it's also a smuggling haven.
No, Coruscant is more of a smuggling
100%,
haven.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Coruscant is like New York on steroids.
Yes.
It's smelly, it's populated,
I was about to
overpopulated.
say that. It's like,
It is a disaster to live in if you're not rich. So I can't understand how you say, no, it doesn't matter what class I had. It very much matters.
No, it doesn't, because if you're at the lower levels, you'll be able to work your way back up. Because remember, that's exactly where all the crime and everything happens. You'd mentioned
So
it
you're
perfectly.
going to be a criminal. Is that what you're saying?
Hang on, remember, you forgot I mentioned earlier, I'm sticking to one side, remember?
So
I'm going still dark. So I'm going to go back to it. So you're only relevant while you have gas. You're only relevant
Which is
until
the
someone
entire
pulls
planet,
the trigger.
by the way. So yes, we have gas in abundance.
Yeah, but how long has the Star Wars saga been running for? That's what I said. So you're only relevant.
It's a planet that
until you're
generates
not.
gas.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to it. So let's go with Coruscant. So I'm in the low levels and start working myself up. You guys are all on holiday destinations. I can go and live on holiday destinations. You can't come to
Not
Coruscant
if you're a
and
lower
survive.
level in Coruscant. You can't afford to live in holiday
He's working his
destination.
way up.
I said I was working my way up. So
one, you need to have to live an impressively long lifetime to wake yourself up.
but you said there's no time and no place.
You have no idea. And I said, what? No time or place doesn't mean I don't have to live an exceptionally long
Yeah,
lifetime.
he sets himself in a
Listen, if I was Yoda,
So-
I've got 900, eh? I've got 900. I can do it.
And let me just make it clear, for me, I am rich. But I say, even you don't have to be rich to live a good life.
You can
on
have a pool
Bespin.
if you're rich. You can't have a pool if you're not rich on
the pool
Bespin.
doesn't dictate a quality
not
of
life.
life.
No, hang on, 100%. But I'm just saying it's just as difficult there as it is in Coruscant. Based
It's
on
actually
living.
not. It is so much better. Economically,
Up
it's better.
until the-
Safety-wise, it's better. View-wise, it's better. Coruscant has literally no vegetation. It's just city. It's just pollution. It's just...
Bespin just has a cloud. Unless you're going to drop all the way down.
Yeah, but no, but
No,
it
it's
has
got
gardens
nothing.
on the city. It has like entire fountains,
Fake.
rivers.
Fake like Coruscant.
No,
We
but
can
it
also make-
simulates it. Are you talking about vacation? If I want to see the real thing, I can go on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the point I was going to get with the vacation bit was you can't come to Coruscant. So if your planet gets blown up and you have to go somewhere else and you only can choose the middle of the galaxy,
If my
you won't
planet
survive.
gets blown up, you literally can't go anywhere else because you use my gas to go somewhere.
We trade your gas. Your gas has to come through the center of the galaxy.
No, but my
Without
gas,
us, it's
I
nothing.
am the Strait
We
of
are the
Hormuz,
trading
okay?
hub. Without
I
the
am
trading
the
hub,
Strait
you
of
got nothing.
Hormuz. I can dictate whether your ship flies or not, okay? I control the oil.
How did you go there? It's like, okay, so let's go with that. Then you become a Valcom if you run out of gas.
Yeah, but I am
They don't know
neutral.
mining?
In this case, I'm Switzerland, but I still control the
It
oil,
wa- it was
and I
Swi-
give it to my...
It was Switzerland up until you harbored a bunch of quote-unquote space terrorists, and then
For a brief amount of time in my history.
and also I have a multitudinal eon level of history. You're just
Which
only
gets
gonna
erased in about like 5 seconds.
and your most famous note, the only time you get to pay attention to your wonderful city is the moment it falls into the hands of a tyrannical dictator.
You guys,
Actually not. It's very much well portrayed in the games. It is also portrayed in some of the animation.
You can say the same thing about Alderaan.
No, but then your argument doesn't count then because it's not just portrayed when it falls into the hands of the Empire. It's very much
I'm
depicted
just saying
across
it's most
the
well
universe.
known for the one movie it's well known as
I
when
am
it
your
falls into
father.
the
Yes, I know, but that makes it even more iconic in my opinion.
The fact that you're busy
Closing
being rich,
argument for me, yeah.
you're busy being rich, and then suddenly
living the best
Lando says, "Hey, sorry guys, we are under new management. Make a plan." peace. And the person who's supposed to run the city, not only does it say that, he gets on a ship and flies off and leaves you to your own devices.
I have money. I have
As for
gas.
Coruscant-
Hold on, I'll let him finish.
As for Coruscant, Coruscant might have been important during the Republic, the fall of the Republic era. But when you go further on, it basically becomes a planet-wide shack. Because the Republic has a new capital, new planet systems. They just leave you to your devices. It falls to rot. Yes, it becomes if you, Mr. Supervillain, are living there, of course, you'll be the king, you'll be the king of the anthill. But you'll be a king of the anthill with millions of people basically going to the point of cannibalizing each other because of just how overpopulated and undersupplied it becomes. I live in a time everything has its beginning, middle, and end. And while you know the end, I still say I lived in a utopic society that shows the rest of the galaxy just how you can get things right while I was still there. I become a martyr for hope and a martyr for resilience, even in the face of extreme violence. For those people who come afterwards, layers
There is no
layers
people
from
coming
the...
afterwards.
Okay. Let's hear from Dolan.
Okay, so again, I was staying in the saga, but you guys go everywhere, but let's go with it.
Sorry.
So, no, it's 100%. So I like what you guys are saying, and I agree with, I mean, the universe is so big, it's like you basically taking a globe and spinning it and going, I'm going to live there. Where would you choose? Everything's got their problems. But again, I'm sticking to what I was saying in the saga. You're a holiday destination until it's not. You're there just while you have gas. If that disappears, even though if you're a planet, remember, they can still go there. But we are the movement. Coruscant is where all the trading is happening. It's where everything, even when you go to the top levels, it's where the decisions are made. It's where you want to be. If you have to look at the world today, the galaxy as well, you want to be where the hustle and bustle is. The ones that make the decisions of how the outlayers will have to live and how they will relate.
Okay, so basically you're not saying well, your argument is the best applicable if you're like a politician or like a high-ranking individual on Coruscant. Yes, it is, because then you're in the know, right? Then you're in the know of all these massive things, changes that's happening. If you're a low-life civilian, most likely you're not going to know all the details. They're going to keep it from the public to not cause like major panic. And even your character from Darth Malgus attacks Coruscant and sacks it. Darth Vader attacks Coruscant and sacks it. It's constantly in the war. My planet is a utopia as well. Literally just look out a window and you can see it's a utopia. Literally just look in your house and it's a utopia. So, and my planet doesn't get destroyed. You're arguing gas can run up. The planet literally is made out of gas. It generated gas. It's been there for thousands of years and it's still making gas. It is the hub for the gas. So there's constantly an economic value there. There's constantly growth. It's a utopia. It doesn't get destroyed. It stays out of the war. If I literally have to go by the question, where would I want to live? I want my kids to have kids, to have kids, to have kids and survive. I want my culture to survive. I want my business to survive. I want my life. And I don't want to like be involved in wars unless I am a Jedi. And I don't want to be a Jedi. I want to be a normal person.
A rich person.
No,
You have to be rich, because you are rich, you said.
Time. Caleb, give some facts. Make them quick.
This won't be quick.
Be quick.
I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start off with Tabello's answer, which is Alderaan. Correct. Yes. Alderaan is widely regarded as one of the most peaceful, artistic, and prosperous planets in the Star Wars galaxy. Very little violence, crime at all. Alderaan played a major role in establishing peace treaties, hosting diplomatic conferences, and promoting disarmament across the galaxy. But it does get blown up. In both Legends and canon, it doesn't escape that fate. Valerie decided to spend a lot of time talking about Bespin, and correct me if I'm wrong, by extension that includes Cloud City.
Yes, because
Okay, so there is significant crime and conflict on Bespin in Star Wars. It is a mining hub, and because of this, it is known to attract smugglers and criminals, requiring constant security efforts. Bespin and Cloud City, you mentioned specifically in the video games, are shown in a positive light. I'm sorry, it's the furthest thing from the truth. Every time you see it in a video game, it is because a conquest is busy happening. This includes Star Wars Empire at War, Forces of Corruption, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Rogue Leader, Battlefronts 1 and 2 from 2004 and 2005, as well as The Force Unleashed, which shows a rampant just death and destruction everywhere. it's not, and you did mention that they stay out of the war. Yes, they stay out of the war until they are completely taken over by the Empire, and then they are under the Empire's rule. Dolan mentioned Coruscant, which has a significant smuggling problem, which we did speak about. It is not the center of the galaxy per se geographically, but both politically and culturally it is. Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much.
Damn it, Valerie. Okay, I want to...
I want to clarify. I
now that
mentioned
song is
the
in my
video
head.
games and stuff to mention that
No, but I
it's
mean,
been
even if he doesn't mention, like if he didn't mention, it's just looking at the history and stuff of Bespin. So it's tough because I was very much leaning towards you, and I don't know if I should let that sway me or not. Say one sentence to change my mind
about best.
about whatever he just said. Is there anything that I might be misunderstanding of your argument? One sentence.
Okay, well, I didn't actually say the video games and stuff shows it in a positive light. I mentioned them to show that it's not just in the movies that Bespin is showcased.
Okay, wrong sentence. Wrong sentence. That did nothing because even whether you mentioned it or not doesn't change it that that's what the case is. Damn it. Like literally, I was like, okay, cool, Valerie. But you can't escape that, and almost every example of that gives it a bad name. The problem is now I just don't want to give anyone the point because I like what you said about Tebedien in the sense that you may be safe if you live 100 years before it's destroyed, but you're eventually going to lose your culture, your heritage, and your generation. And then Coruscant, you want to spend a whole lifetime just to get to where she just positioned herself.
Well, no, I
automatically.
Like, which is fine. I was low class.
That's fun, man. That's fun. But and also it's just generally like a cesspool of good and bad, and it's just a mess. So I get it, and there is an appeal to that, but not enough. Also, but the problem is with what you explained living on the city as, he might have added all the culture stuff. You made it sound like what I'm already living in, where you're like arguing about politics and telling people not to be corrupt and stuff. I'm like, that sounds terrible. So I think, because you were talking in the beginning in your opening, you were like, I'm going to, it just...
I said
Go
when
ahead.
you're going to the Senate...
Yeah.
And you're making your debates with the other planets, like you guys are messing things up.
Okay. That's good. Good clarification.
So I think this is the best way to sway you.
It's tough.
And it's simple.
No,
Where do you want to live?
No, Kashyyyk.
No, meaning three.
Okay. No, I hate that you all went city, but it's fine. Okay, honestly, because that was like the one thing I was taking away from you, and it's where you want to live, and they covered it. I'll give it to Tebedien. I so like the life you painted is like that's cool, and I like that you forced yourself to be rich. Why not?
Why not?
Why
It's
would
my
you do
choice
that?
where I want to live.
But yeah, so I have to judge fairly, and
have to do
that
you-
clarification.
No.
So
We'll be fine,
to be
don't
clear, Tebedien, Dolan, speed round.
Why?
I know it was so tight. This is some of the tightest ever. I will say that this is the hardest to choose like a point for I've ever on any episode. So well done to everyone.
Thank heaven. I thought you were going to say question.
I never struggle. I struggled. I had an optional question that I don't care. I want to hear answers to this, so it's becoming a main question. Caleb thinks it's stupid. I don't care. I want to have fun. This is a dumb question.
Okay, hit us.
So question 1 for the speed round showdown. Shout whatever answer you find applicable. What does the Force smell like?
Gravy.
Cookies.
Okay, this is dumb, but I like it. Okay, so just to clarify, Dolan, I heard you first. You're going to have 20 seconds to make your initial argument, starting in 3, 2, 1.
So for me, the Force is a little bit on the darker side. So for me, it has to be thick, putty-like. So when I use it, I want it must be tangible. So when I want and gravy always looks like it needs to belong on something, but it actually doesn't. So for me, it was like that thick, gravy, harsh smell, and a little bit like burnt meat.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Tebedien,
Well, I
3, 2, 1.
I'm going to accept cookies because either way, it invites you in. The dark side or the light is supposed to tempt you, seduce you. And nothing is more seductive or alluring than the smell of freshly baked cookies when you come home. Heaven smells just like that when you have either it's chocolate chip, maybe the dark side would say those aren't chocolate. That's really
Okay, time. Okay,
No, the
Dolan,
cookies are
wait,
nice.
you get 15 seconds and go for it.
So I want to be a good guy, and I'm like, oh, cookies. And I go to the cookies, the next minute it goes, here's your red lightsaber. I'm like, oh, snot. I'm in the wrong side. With gravy, I know what I'm going to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Tebedien, 3, 2, 1.
Gravy, gravy is thick, mucky, and disgusting. What's the point of using it for any sort of good if you want to compare it to anything? It's the Force, not the dark side of the Force you're comparing it. That's the biggest issue.
But the difference
you're not allowed to say anything, you had your time. Okay, very interesting. It's so interesting. This is such a great question because Caleb and I were answering it between the two of us earlier.
I'm such a
and
child.
Everyone has such a different answer. And I love how you guys made it make sense. But fantastic argument, Tebello. From my side, I'm definitely going to vote you. Valerie will also state her side. But I love that you're saying it tempts you in no matter what. I don't know in what world only good people eat cookies. Okay, Valerie, who do you think gets that point?
Well, you played on the famous meme, come to the dark side, we have cookies, right? You said something that kind of stuck with me, that it smells a little bit like burnt meat. For me, a lightsaber, for the Force would smell like burnt hair, because the lightsaber with like a straightener. But anyway, so I would lean more towards
Dolan.
the gravy.
Okay, lean towards the gravy.
Actually.
Okay, just shout names, Caleb.
Dolan.
Okay. Tebello, I've never felt more strongly that they're wrong because the Force doesn't pick sides. The Jedis and the Sith pick sides, if I'm not mistaken. So
Have you ever eaten KFC gravy and mash?
I hate it.
It's good.
No, I hate it. Okay, it's
So
fine.
you-
It's fine. Dolan, you get the first point.
Wait,
We go into
long
the
to
second
go.
question. Very open-ended classic question. Which fight scene is the best in all of Star Wars?
Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul.
Cool. Specifically them. Okay.
Yoda versus Palpatine.
Okay. I heard Dolan first. You get 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
If you're going to look at a fight, I mean, we've got Darth Vader and Luke fighting, but the ending there was more unique than what you saw with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi just lost his master. Therefore, when the fight was happening, there was so much more at stake, where Darth Maul was just using pure force, where Obi-Wan physically had to think about what his next moves were going to
Time.
be.
Okay, Tebello, 3, 2, 1.
Here we have the ultimate clash between good and evil. We have Master Yoda, Master Palpatine, both cackling away, swinging in lightsaber. We've never seen Yoda move that fast in combat before, as well as the fact that it's a perfect foil to what we see with Obi-Wan and Anakin at that point in time.
Time. Okay, 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
So I like what you said. I'm still going to stick with mine, because every time I watch it, and I had to rewatch it again, what looked like was basically a little kid with a fidget spinner with a light on it. Whoa! And that's what Yoda looked like the whole time. So it had no technique to it. It was just movement. It was too much.
Great. Tebello, go for it.
And while Obi-Wan and Darth Maul have classical introduction to the new type of lightsaber combat, its ending is still perfectly lightsaber. He jumps, slices them enough, and that's it. They had to continue the lore, but with making more characterizations of Maul to write it off.
Okay, Valerie, you tell me who you pick first.
Damn, you almost had me with like it's the classic showcase of good versus evil, but you had me like I have to give it to you because he had me with the technique and the combat, and that is what the lightsaber fights are the best one, and that fight is iconic.
It is.
It is so good.
Okay, now I agree, Dolan. You get the point. I think the fidget spinner was a perfect way to break
Exactly.
down. So well done rebuttaling that. Okay, question 3. So currently, Dolan, you've got 2 points. So if you take this, you take this. Okay. Classic question. C-3PO or R2-D2?
C-3PO.
Okay, so you got R2. Great. Okay, so I heard you first, Dolan. You've got 20 seconds in 3, 2, 1.
That's what made me hate Rise of Skywalker so much, is because at the end, C-3PO had to give away himself to basically save the battle. Without him, there would have been nothing. He had to give everything he was away. Where, R2-D2 just goes tit and throws a lightsaber every now and then.
Okay, Tebello, 3, 2, 1.
If you want the best wingman for your entire generation, it's R2. He's been there beside basically the Skywalker bloodline from the very beginning to the very, very, very end. He's been there beside these people, keeping their secrets, reminding them of the moral compass, standing for what's right, being selfless in every way.
Okay, Dolan, 3, 2, 1.
C-3PO is the best man. R2-D2 is a wingman. It's to get the date, C-3PO becomes the best man because he's there for the marriage. That's when he gave his life away or memory away for.
I
think I ran out of time.
No time.
I got so tongue-tied.
Tebello, 3, 2, 1.
C-3PO is a glorified butler who complains a lot, who was given the message you are our only hope. It wasn't C-3PO, it was R2. And he carried that mission regardless of his programming till the very end.
Okay. I think Tebedien had this in the bag. I just found your opening statement a bit too confusing. It didn't feel like it was pro C-3PO. It felt anti. So I'm going Tebedien. What do you say?
I also go with Tebedien.
Awesome.
Because your reason he was is it a she? I think it's a she kind of thing. It was there from the start.
Yeah. So great. That's 1 point Tebedien, 2 for Dolan. This next question you still win if you get it. So you're fighting to stay alive.
I'm falling apart.
Okay. Who represents what the Jedi stands for best?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
It would have to be Yoda.
Okay, cool. So, Tebedien, I heard you first. 20 seconds start now.
Obi-Wan Kenobi represents the ideals of the Jedi in the sense that if you look at his life, he faced terrible losses. He faced things that would have broken any person and made them choose the dark side, and he still stuck to the light till the very, very end. And his ethos was not good for its own virtue. It's not necessarily good for the sake of power or strength.
Okay, Dolan, 3, 2, 1.
So Yoda was always good, even from the beginning. So when they asked to be trained, or so that they could train Anakin, Yoda was the one that said no as well. So he was always there for the good. Even when Luke needed help, Yoda was always the one saying, stop so I can help you, so you can be the better version of you. He always made sure that the light side was going to win without any other input.
Time. Okay, Tebedien, 15 seconds, 3, 2, 1.
As much as we love Yoda, the facts about it is he's single-handedly responsible for the fall of the Jedi. It was his neglect, and he's also not noticing the problems with Count Dooku and every other thing happening with the Jedi at the Senate that led to ultimate demise.
Okay, time. Dolan, 3, 2, 1.
Obi-Wan Kenobi trained Darth Vader.
Honestly, I think that is a perfect one line. I definitely think Dolan takes it from my side. The reason why is because I think the Jedi are flawed, and Yoda leading to their downfall is just a representation of that. It's the Jedi. So that's what I think. What do you think, Valerie?
I go with Obi-Wan.
Okay, so we're split.
Yeah.
Okay, behind the cameras, Jeff.
Dolan. Tebedien.
Okay, which
Yeah.
means I, as judge, just make the final call. And therefore, Dolan, you win this episode and have become the Jedi Master.
MVP.
I told you the expert is hiding. There's a spy in our
You
midst.
lied.
Fantastic job. I think, honestly, there is no one here that wasn't a main character, if I can put it like that. Usually everyone the losers fade to the background as extras, but there are no extras here. This is an ensemble cast. Not taking your win away from you, but damn, I think you'd agree with me.
Sorry, that just means it means a lot more. Because
Yes, exactly.
With the moment you open your mouth, and the moment you open your mouth, I was like, I'm done.
No, you guys killed it.
Well
really
done.
good, dude.
And you put me to shame with my knowledge, so it was incredible, like really just solid Star Wars episode. Dolan, you won, so please take the first chance to just shout out what you want to shout out. You've got a cool page thing to talk about, so take this opportunity.
Okay,
to talk about that.
so I don't know if you guys know this. So me and a group actually look after a page called Comic Law. And funny enough, that page exists is to teach people about comic books and a little bit of the law, so that when the guy is out there in the wild, whether it's on Coruscant or Lisbon, they actually know what they can't be duped by smugglers, if you can call it that. So that's what we do for Comic Law, is to teach the people on what to look out for and what to look for.
Awesome. And like how you guys can go into Star Wars, this guy in comic book law, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
So definitely check out Comic Law. I think Tebedien, just give us a shout out on your side as well.
www.halacop.co.za. Check out my manga War Angel.
Awesome.
Chapter 2 dropping soon.
And he's the aura forming king.
Yeah, king of Overfall. Awesome. And then Valerie, you give us the last one.
I don't have anything big going on. I'm just a fan of the show. I'm just a fan of these people, and I just find it fun and engaging, and I encourage more discussions and more things like this especially in South Africa. So I am just honored to be a part of it again. So,
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
No, we jumped to have you back because you are, like I said, the fact queen, and this was just a fantastic episode.
I should be the fact checker.
So we just want to take a last chance to once again thank Tebedien. Our drinks was delicious, and it kept me. I really need to pee now.
Made me win.
Exactly. Your energy, your force, as they say, has come from that. I also also want to thank Capitec for their sponsor in this video. They're really cool, and they've been so cool about how they've approached us and how we've been going with that. So that's really cool. And then our biggest thank you, our epic thank you, and our final thank you will always go to God for making this happen and always showing up and proving that he's in the DNA of this. Plot armor should not be able to be separated from that. So we just really thank him for that. Thank him for these awesome people, and thank him for making us be able to appreciate creativity and art, because that's why we love this type of thing. It's the amazing stories that are told.
He's our force.
Yeah, yeah. And we chose the good side now.
Yeah.
So yeah, cookies. So thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. Great episode, and may the force be with you.
We are Benny Jesuit.
Different universe, but you get it.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Plot Armor. We really hope you enjoyed it.
I know we did.
If you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe to the Plot Armor YouTube channel.
And if you want to see the season that just ended, go click on the season 1 playlist.
And if you have any strong feelings about the topics we tackled in today's video, make sure to comment them down below.
We will enter the Battleground once again next Monday. Bye bye.